Welcome to GameGuru MAX live broadcast number 47. Welcome all. This is a little reveal about what's going on in the internal world of GameGuru MAX development. Sometimes I show features, sometimes I show art. This week I'm going to show art. Lots and lots of art. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. And if you happen to be lucky enough to be joining us live, you have access to a live chat board in which you can ask your many and varied questions, whether they're related to what I'm talking about or not. But before any of that, I just want to make sure that everyone can hear me clearly, perfectly. Thanks everybody who's already responded. Great, wonderful, thanks. We can move straight on. Now, I'm going to make very certain when I do answer your questions, they're the right questions from this live chat, not last week's questions from last week. For more information about that, go check out previous broadcast. Little embarrassing. Haha. Okay, so what do I want to show you today? Well, this build that I have in front of me, I'll just go into the opening screen. This is what you're going to see this Friday. So as always, the things I show you, talk about in the Wednesday broadcast, you get 2 days later if you're a pre-order user and you want access to those Friday builds. So this is the changelog so far that we're going to include on Friday. Obviously many little tweaks and fixes, but the bit that I want to show you, the juicy stuff, is more related to art, which I'm going to show you right now. So there's two sections I'd like to show. First one, very quickly, the additional art that we've thrown in. So already familiar with the objects, you've had those for a while. The Indus collection that you've seen. Well, we've now been playing with the basement collection. So let me show you the debris. The reason I'm showing you this is there's a rather nice stone sort of slab. If I just drag this in, let me just set up some grid settings. Hold down Shift allows me to keep doing this. Really nice way to, if you've got something like a slab, to connect them all together. I've also got some, what else have I got down here? I think, yeah, that's what I was looking for. Some lovely debris. So if I can just get rid of the grid mode and hold down Shift, I can place it down in different places, like so. So you get the idea. This would be sort of, if we were talking basement, this is a basement where large parts of the roof have collapsed. But as you might expect, I'm not going to spend the next couple of hours building levels. Just show you some of the objects. It's a nice water feature. So we've got pipes. Nice little water boiler thing going on there. So let me put that here. So those are all well and good, but then as I discovered these. Now remember, we don't make everything from scratch. Sometimes we license art from artists we like and we want to bring it to everybody else. And there was this one. So you got a nice piece of earth. Obviously it wouldn't be on a grey grid, it would be on like a muddy field, but you get all that lovely detail coming through. But this is the bit that I thought was cool. The entrance to the basement. So you could almost like have a door. And then with the door, you get it open or closed. If it's closed, well, but if it's open, you actually get to, like that, put it on its hinges. And then obviously you'd have that raised up, do some sort of corridor thing, you drop down into this basement where there's lots of lovely things. So I'll let you explore that on Friday. Those assets will be included. The reason I dropped this one down actually is I could almost imagine if you wanted to sort of cover the outside of that with some dirt just to make it look like it has been dug over, something like that. That was quite nice. But as I said, the fun part is for you to play around with these assets, see what you can create. But the best thing I want to show you, not comparing one out with the other, you know, I don't want to get artists upset. But the one technically that I like, the one that we've solved, is the good rendering of her. So if we use our character creator, before, you'd probably agree our her was pretty hair. Sorry, they have an accent from the north of England. So her, when I say her, it's actually hair, as in the stuff on your head. So as you can see, this is the first of the new hair. And much, much better than the old one. You've got the nice fine lines. and it's got like double-sided rendering, and it works well against the head with the alpha, and also a great alpha around with the environment in the background. Much better than it was, and so we're going through and replacing all the hair for both male and female character choices. I even think the zombie might have some hair. So if he has any hair, we'll replace his too. So that's the idea. We've actually figured it out to do a good technique, great technique actually, compared to a lot of modern games out there. And we're going to make sure you've got some good choices. We have a second one that ships on Friday, which is the swept back look. So that's the parting, and this one is the swept back, and this one has different colours. All the different hairstyles will have different colours. I'm going to go for ginge. So, and because I want to show you the next thing, which is also pretty cool, I'm going to come out a little bit, and I'm going to change him up. So I'm going to give him some glasses. I'm going to give him a proprietary t-shirt, maybe give him some jeans, like so, and a name. So Lee, let's call him Leroy. And that's it. That's what you've been used to so far with the character creator. What we're going to do next, you're not familiar with. When you click Save Character, instead of dumping it to some random location you'll never find, it actually takes you to your preview creator. This is the part where you get to see, you know, design how it's going to look in your library. So I'm going to give it a stage to stand on. Zoom in a little bit, make him play an idle animation. Great. Rotate him a bit this way. Happy with that. You could give him some keywords if you want some keywords. So let's call him, what should you call it? He's an advertiser. It's basically advertising stuff. But lots of things. You could just, you know, just put man, glasses, ginge, ginger, whatever you want to do. And then when you're happy with how it looks, then you click Finalize Character Creation. Dink. And the third cool thing is the library that's already figured out. You started in the library and you've ended in the library. Why not create the filter for you so it shows you the thing you've created right away in the object library? You don't need to go fishing for it. It's right there. So now I can take this guy, drop him in, and you've gone from deciding you want to create a character all the way through to deciding how its thumbnail looks, and then straight back into the level. Exactly the minimalist number of steps to get your character that you've designed into your level. Now you may have noticed something else, which I'm really proud of, is the behavior selection. Remember before it was just a drop down? Well, now we are using the benefit of our library system in order to show behaviors. So as you can see, there's all different kinds, you know, follow, going in circles, follow waypoints, speak, backwards and forwards, all the rest of it. I'm going to keep mine nice and simple, so just stand idle for me, select that behavior. He's now behaving standing as idle, and you got a little description and maybe some parameters from the dynamic Lewis system. More on that as we delve into logic in the weeks and months to follow. Not long to wait now. And I also want to show that it's not just characters. Let me select a barrel. So select the behaviors, and you get all the different kinds of things an object might want to do. It's much better than just a drop down when you kind of guess what the scripter was thinking of when they did the title. You've now got a nice illustration and also a description of what the behavior does. So I think one that's really nice to show is the hover. So if I run this, you'll see that our character is standing idle and our barrel is hovering. If you wanted to change the behavior of that barrel to say, have the barrel repel from the player. So as I approach the barrel's now trying to get away from me instinctively. Of course, it is got physics on, so the barrel's trying to move away with whatever its mechanism for moving is, which is just dumb cylinder physics. Or the opposite, I could be like a magnet. So I'll run that. Now the barrel thinks I'm a great big earth magnet. So now it's just going to be attracted to me, it's going to keep following me until it's happy in my vicinity and it's happy to rest alongside my metal magnetic foot. So that's what I wanted to show you. I want to show you that we've actually started thinking about how do we make behaviours really easy to understand and then employ into game. Now, of course, remember all the assets, every asset that you get out of the box with GameGuru MAX will already have a preset behavior. You know, keys will already be set as keys, doors will already be set as doors, etc., etc. But then being able to go in and quickly change those behaviors through pictogram, easy. Means you don't even have to read the description. And of course, you can create your own Lua scripts, attach images and give them descriptions and give them lots of parameters. But that's for people who want to script. GameGuru MAX, you do not have to script, you do not have to create art. You just have to create the game that you have in your head, put it down onto GameGuru MAX, and then play it and share it and sell it with friends. So those are the things I wanted to show you. The new assets that are going into the asset collection, the new her system that we have in place, soon to be expanded with the rest of the selection, and of course our new behavior selection system, which will extend to every kind of type, so characters, objects, markers, lights, so different light behaviors, all of those things to look forward to, but it all is basically in the same UI. The fact you select it in very big images with lots of lovely descriptions. So that's enough waffle for me. I'm looking at the clock. I have allowed myself a very professional 4 minutes to answer questions on the assumption this broadcast will only last 15 minutes. Just for anyone who hasn't tuned into the previous 76 broadcast, that has never happened before in my entire life. I don't expect it to happen anytime now. Why? Because you guys love to ask questions, and I like to answer them. So here is your questions. I hope these are your questions from this week. I imagine they are, but certainly let me know. I don't know how you'd let me know, because you'd let me know in the chat window, and if this isn't your chat window, I'd never read it. But I am certainly going to try my best to remember what last week's questions were. So I didn't ask at the start, I apologise, but I always look for a question mark before I answer a question. Why do I do that? It allows me to skim through the live chat very quickly. I don't have a mod scanning through and finding the questions for me. I have to do that live. This is all live. If anything goes wrong, you see it live. For things going wrong, see last week's broadcast. Here's the first real question from Duke229. The models look very good actually, comma. How is the work on the terrain going, question mark? Very good indeed. Very good indeed. I am itching to show you terrain. But internally we've decided to only show you the terrain when it looks spectacular. We really want to impress you with our terrain stuff. And we're quite happy to delay that reveal until we're just drooling at the sight of our screenshots and walking around on the new stuff. So yeah, I've probably bigged it up a little bit too big, so it'll never really meet those expectations now. But yeah, it's going on. We've been doing it weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. We're going to do a few more, maybe a few more after that, and then we're able to do the terrain reveal. But yeah, it's going really well. Really happy with how it's taking shape, pardon the pun. Here's a question. This is the DJLS Lee. Approximately when will we be seeing improvements on the terrain, question mark? As we are at present working with a small zone, that's a bit iffy. Yeah, definitely iffy. And oh, if you try to sculpt and paint, your FPM is then 500 megabytes, which takes ages to load. So yeah, it is extremely iffy, so certainly don't try and create anything with it. And see previous question and answer for what's going on with the terrain. It's a case of just watching and waiting now until we start hinting at a terrain reveal. Here's a question from Nicholas. What's the question? Will additional asset model packs be available for purchase? Yes. We are going to broker deals with third parties, people who have a great asset collection and want to make them compatible with GameGuru MAX. What I mean by that is, it's not just the model. You know, one of the things with the GameGuru MAX DLC is we add the logic, we add the behaviors, we add the physics. We make sure that when it drops into your level, it just works. It does what it's supposed to do. If it was a door, it opens and closes. That's the difference. And we work with third parties to make sure that's the case on any kind of asset type. So yeah, we are planning to do that. But we are primarily, for the moment, focusing on the out-of-the-box experience. All of the assets that we're working on now, the ones that you've seen, are all being included free with GameGuru MAX. So don't worry about DLCs just yet. Looking for a question. This is from Fearless Wee. Will the volcanic... Yeah, I'm thinking of terrain again, aren't I? Will the volumetric clouds from Wicked ever get implemented? They look way better than the current flat clouds, especially considering VR. They do. We've been playing with volumetric clouds behind the scenes. They're just not 100%. You know, if you make them too thick, it looks like they're all sitting on a sheet of glass. There are better volumetric systems out there, and I think we're going to sort of wait around for one of those. So for now, you're going to have to deal with the current cloud system. Look for another question. This is from Craven. Is there any way you could make it possible for us to add Steam achievements into our GGM games internally? Our games would need to be able to talk to Steam to do that, correct? Absolutely correct. GameGuru MAX would need to integrate Steam API, and then we need to expose those Steam API calls through Lua script, and then you'll be able to sort of manage when the game doles out an achievement or does some other thing that needs Steam. With GameGuru MAX, though, we decided to be not Steam dependent. That's why when we pulled multiplayer, we switched its technology to Photon, which isn't Steam, doesn't require Steam. And so I would say, just for clarity, we're not going to integrate any Steam-specific stuff into the first version of GameGuru MAX. Simply so we can just focus on that simple core product that does what it says on the tin. I dare say Steam achievements will come along in the future. Can't promise anything, but we've done it before. It's not rocket science, and there might be a nice elegant way to do it through some future expansion of the scripting commands. But nothing out of the box for version 1. Here's a question from, but is there a question mark in it? No, there's a question mark. Here's one from Andy Goldal. Will there be auto lip sync for the characters? Yes, absolutely. You'll be able to give a character some text, and it will do text to speech, and so the character will do the speaking. You can also give the character a WAV file. The software will analyze the WAV file and produce the correct phoneme shapes for the mouth, and the mouth will actually talk on the characters. Just to clarify, that's only characters created in the character creator. If you import your own characters from outside, we have no control over the bones of the head, the mouth, the lips, eyebrows, things like that. So we won't be mapping to that, certainly for version 1. But yeah, any character that you've created in Character Creator, or a character that comes with GameGuru MAX out the box, you just tell it what to say, and the mouth will move. Super simple. Keeps all the tech at our end, and you just get the easy progress of making your game. Looking at the clock, I just pushed past the 15-minute mark. I also added 3 more minutes. I'm going to answer 2 more questions. Then the rest I will answer in text form in the GameGuru forum thread that I'll create after this broadcast, along with a recording of this broadcast. So the last 2 questions. This is another one from Fearless Swig. Will there be motion added to characters' eyes, such as tracking the player or looking around slightly to add motion? Right now, there seems like they're staring into space. Yeah, we do head tracking, so a character will face you and stare straight at you, but I know exactly what you mean. There's a secondary form of tracking where a character's eyes will move first, and then as the head moves around, the eyes sort of lock, you know, into that straightforward stare. It's very subtle, but if you don't do it, you enter uncanny valley and your characters don't quite do what it needs to do. The good news is we do have control over the eye rotations, so we could do that. If we're doing head tracking, it could be that we do eyeball, so let's call it eye tracking as well, character eye tracking. But it's not on my dev plan. It's not written down anywhere as a task. Please remind me again on the forums and maybe gain some support for it, because it means if we do that, then we've just dropped something else to do all the work that we want to do in a fixed amount of time. So let's see how vital that is to everybody out there. Do we absolutely want eye tracking, or we'll be so busy shooting at them with a rifle from 30 feet away and you don't really care about the eyeballs? Last question. This is from new person asking a new question. Bone Spurs. Can we expect a release in 2021? That's kind of the beauty of an open release date. We don't have a release date, so I don't know whether it's 2021, 22, 23, 33, 55. It's basically, it will be released when the quality is correct, and we don't know when that is. The quality will be correct when we look at it and we use it and we play it. We think, yes, this is right. This is the quality that we want for this product. And so, yeah, thank you very much for the obligatory when will it be released question. I don't think we've escaped to broadcast without having to answer that at least once each chat. So thanks for the rest of your questions. I'm going to copy them carefully, paste them into the forum, and then I'm going to answer them, and then I will post it on the forum and then everyone can read this. I won't re-answer all the questions I've already done verbally, just the new ones that I couldn't get to. So I hope you enjoyed this broadcast. Next week I will confirm that I will be releasing some little feature that I think you'll be really pleased about. Hopefully we can get it all done in time. I'm pretty sure we will. But I just wanted to leave you a teaser that it will be some feature that you've probably been waiting for quite some time. And it's not terrain, so don't get your hopes up. It's something else. And also to remind everybody that if you haven't pre-ordered, and there's no obligation to do so, but if you do, we have a 25% discount and it gives you access to these builds every Friday, and we release them every Friday. We do broadcasts every Wednesday at 4 p.m. GMT, and we release builds every Friday at the end of the day. And then we rest at the weekend and do it all over again. So until next week, when I'll be able to talk more about the internal developments of GameGuru MAX, thanks very much for your attention, and I will speak to you again soon. Goodbye.